So prior to lockdown, our business used to distribute the jobs and the guys would go out and do them on the maintenance side. Then when lockdown levels started to come into play, we organised our business into small teams so that the guys and girls were working within their own small bubbles. While we didn't need to do that, we wanted to do that to protect the continuity of our business should we have an event occur within our business.
So information gathering, I suppose, was key. Ministry of Health, our professional bodies, master plumbers, everywhere else that we sort of involved, we gathered as much as we could, and then sort of picked it apart to find out what we needed to do and how our guys operate.
I tend to find most of the issues we had during that time were around supply materials to sites, which delayed us, especially in that first 2 or 3 weeks where we started to look at COVID as being a major issue around the construction industry.
So to start with, obviously it was getting procedures and everything in place, what lockdown was going to look like, how working isolated or away from other people was going to look like. During lockdown, obviously PPE and all of our processes were a lot more in-depth, contacting the customers, making sure there was going to be no contact.
Right, well before lockdown we used to take safety precautions, gloves, all the rest of it if you had to work with sewage or people that you knew were sick. But yeah, when that COVID hit, that was a completely different ballgame altogether. At first no one really had clear indication or proper direction because it was just so new. Each day we're finding out new things.
I was in Australia of the weekend when they closed the borders, or were talking about closing the borders, so we rushed back. We managed to get back just in time. However, I'd already stated to our team that we would go by the rules of XYZ website controlled by the government. And then when we came back, I was at work for a day and they changed the rules. So I ended up in lockdown about 10 days prior to everybody else. So it was really hard personally for me to try to see what was happening here.
Personally, I came up with 3 words. Those 3 words initially were, I felt insignificant, overwhelmed, and overloaded. There was so much information coming in from so many sources, all our suppliers, all our customers. I felt incredibly overloaded was probably the one word.
Personally for me with the COVID crisis, it was fun and games at home, obviously with young family, wife, uncertainties around how the schools were dealing with things, home educating our kids, trying to figure out how that would work in line with my work patterns.
It was definitely different. It was a lot different working during COVID-19. It was a lot less contact with people. Because I've got a family at home, my washdown procedures were a lot more because I didn't want to be taken at home to the family, obviously.
It was very stressful. Very, very stressful. That first week when we went into lockdown, it's just the complete unknown. I mean, I've got family and all that I've got to look after at home, and who's going to pay the mortgage, all the rest of it. Yeah, lots of sleepless nights, just that fear of the unknown, and putting my hand up and working through, that was a different ballgame altogether, because you just don't know, what you're facing going into people's houses, Are you going to come out contaminated, even though you're that pedantic about sterilising, cleaning everything, just that little exposure, taking your mask off, taking the gloves off in the wrong order, very nail-biting.
We've developed a COVID tracing form internally with part of our job management system so that we record who's on site, and part of that is also what PPE gear do I need this, and rule out what you don't need and for what reason.
I learned that health and safety is not routine. We tend to get stuck in the rules of health and safety. I don't know if there are any rules. I think you need to adapt and be ready to adapt quickly, and every situation is different. And it was really cool to see that in action rather than just using the words.
So with the health and safety lessons with our teams, I literally discovered that every vehicle, doing a regular survey of what it has on board, making sure they're all fully loaded up with all the PPE they need, not having the issue of coming through the workshop to collect it when they need it, and running out, so they've always got the gear on board.
I guess the thing that really was a big deal for us was the personal hygiene and the washing your hands, the thoroughly washing down gear, the just going through everything step by step and making sure that we were getting everything done that we needed to keep everyone safe.
It just sort of emphasises, you know, the danger is always there, but yeah, it's just that unseen danger, and you just have to continuously be proactive around it.
Parts of it I think is, like, certainly our method in having team meetings where the guys are going to site, parking up in their van, dialing in, and we do that regularly every 2 weeks with our maintenance crew. It means they can still get to site for their first job, so it's more productive.
I think with our new procedures and our new expectations, making somebody more vigilant about their health and safety, if we're doing that and we've achieved that, then better normal is going to be better.
The health and safety side, I think, is being maintained. I like it. So we've rolled literally our level 2 and 3, just kept it going all the way through. So it hasn't changed at all with our health and safety, with our drainage teams at all.
We're just going to keep everything to that high standard, on cleaning down gear, on cleaning ourselves, on sort of separating everything from home life and work life, so none of my clothes go home, nothing like that. So that's and yeah, it probably is a good thing.
I personally don't like change, maybe it's my age, but I don't like the new sort of normal. We, you know, show social distancing and all that, and have to sterilise everywhere. But for the sake of our country and people's safety, it has to be, you know, until we get a vaccine or something sorted. It's going to have to be.
Remote working for the guys on site and maybe not needing to catch up personally, doing our quotes via technology in some cases as well, where we can do a walkthrough. We send them a questionnaire about, if you can send us a photo of this, and this, and give us this and this measurement, we can provide you a quote without you having to take time off work.
Future-proofing to me just looks like open communication and working together as a team, as a group, including everybody. I really think it is that simple.
Future-proofing for me with my drainage teams and my plumbers is literally making sure that they are fully stocked up with PPE all the time. They have enough gear to be able to do several jobs at a time. We've actually gone down the road of loading up drainage vehicles with a lot more equipment, making sure all of our staff have tablets so they can actually do remote works, take photos, upload to our servers, which has really helped a lot.
Just as long as we've got all the suppliers, enough suppliers of the PPE gear, and yeah, I think we should be all right. No.
I have found out of this is that we've got some really awesome staff members who are willing to go the extra mile, and they deserve recognition.
The productivity of our teams, I think it's really, the guys have stepped forward. My senior site foremen have really stepped up. More so now with the health and safety side. They're really pushing it all the way through.
Just the way that people pull together during tough times has been really impressive. The likes of the help that we've had from here, people going out of their way and going above and beyond.
I think the wage subsidy, in all honesty, has been one of the key tasks, one of the key platforms that the government's come up with to date that saved a lot of employment in our industry. End of the day, if we can't sell labour, we can't survive, and managing that labour going forward is probably the gold you're talking about, in the sense, you know, we do need to manage the guys well. We need to hold on to them, and they are a valuable part of our team, and we need to make sure they go home safe at the end of the day. So.